Today we take one example of energy balance calculation in the atmosphere distillation column, and that is a feed condition calculation. The basic objective in this calculation is basically to find out the temperature and pressure at the flash zone of the atmosphere distillation column. Now let us look the steps. The first thing, as we have discussed, that the objective is to find out the temperature and pressure at the flash zone. What are the given data? The first data, that is the material balance data that we have already calculated in the material balance section. The second thing that is important is the maximum temperature at the furnace outlet is 350 degree Fahrenheit. Then the next steam requirement is given here also, and the next is the recommended pressure drop between the furnace outlet and flash zone inlet, that is the 5 psi. So this stream information is not necessary for this calculation. In the next step we will use the steam information. Here only the pressure drop is important, maximum temperature is important, material balance is important. Basically we are going to do the calculations on this criteria. This is nothing but the total amount of the heat at the furnace outlet should be equal to the total amount of the heat at flash zone inlet. That is our basic criteria. We have to find out simply these two heat balances, and then our objective will be achieved. Let us see how. As we know, this is the flash zone section. Basically this is the column bottom section, this is a flash zone, and this is a furnace from where the feedstock, that is a crude oil, is being heated to the 350 degree Fahrenheit and charged into the flash zone. So this is a furnace outlet where the temperature, pressure and vapor, amount of vapor, these three informations are required. Similarly, this is the flash zone inlet. At this location we need a temperature, pressure and vaporization. So these are the two things that we need and we have to find out, and after knowing all these three factors we can able to calculate the energy balance. So now these are the basically our target. Temperature is given, unit is very important, so temperature is given in degree Fahrenheit, pressure is given in the psi absolute, and V dash, that is the vapor portion of the crude oil. Obviously at that high temperature the crude oil is not only in the liquid phase but it is in a vapor as well as in both a liquid phase. And one more important thing is that there is a pressure drop between the flash zone and furnace outlet. We will take this one also. I have discussed that the value is given as a 5 psi. So criteria is clear to all of you that we have to go for the energy balance, the heat content of the crude oil we have to find out at furnace outlet and at the flash zone inlet. So let us look about the heat content of any oil that can be calculated, because crude oil have two phases, one is liquid section, one is liquid phase, second is vapor phase. So we have to first find out the energy associated with the liquid section, the second is energy associated with the vapor sections, then we have to add it, and after adding we can say that we have now the total heat content of the crude oil at any position. So what we need, mass flow rate for vapor, mass flow rate of liquid, we need to find out, and then if we know these m value and the enthalpy value, it's simply a basic calculations. There is no complications here, only you have to find out all these things. So how we can do it? Let us take. So total heat at the furnace outlet, that is basically what we are going to evaluate. Total heat at the flash zone inlet, that we are going to evaluate, and our conditions in these portions, how we can go to evaluate. The furnace outlet, we have to find out the heat associated with the vapors and heat associated with the liquids. Similarly, we have to find out the heat of the furnace zone inlet, heat associated with the vapors and heat associated with the liquid, and our condition is both values should be the equal. If both values are equal, then at that condition of temperature and pressure, that will be the equilibrium stage, and we can say the temperature or pressure at that condition is known as the flash zone temperature and pressure. Now How we can do, let us take the first example at flash zone inlet. Now let us look. So at flash zone inlet, total amount of heat can calculated by heat associated with vapor and heat associated with the liquid, because these two phases are available in the flash zone inlet. And how we can go for the heat calculations, energy calculations? We know that M into enthalpy. M is the mass flow rate, H is the enthalpy. So for the vapor and similarly for the liquid, we have to find out energy content both individually, then add it, we can say that is a total amount of the heat. So as far as the mass flow rate is concerned, so we know that this is the information that we have. About 40% of the total feed is vaporized at the flash zone inlet. So now we have it, so this amount is known. And as far as the enthalpy is concerned, we know about enthalpy calculations. For the enthalpy, we need temperature, we need API, we need a phase. Phase can be the vapor and liquid. So we have to find out. Let us take example. For example, at the flash zone temperature, we don't know the temperature. Temperature is not given. API, yes, we can find out the API because API is related with the material and material information is given. Phase, it is known because we know that there are two phases, one phase is liquid, one phase is vapor. So basically phase is known, the only missing thing is the temperature. So that is the big question, how we can find out the temperature. Now see about the furnace outlet. So in the furnace outlet, the same procedure. The total heat is nothing but it is a heat associated with the vapor phase and heat associated with the liquid phase at the furnace outlet. And heat of the vapor can be calculated by mass flow rate multiply enthalpy, and for the liquid, mass flow multiplied by the enthalpy of the liquid. So let us look what is known parameter here at the furnace outlet. Vapor or liquid amount unknown, we don't know exactly. What we know, temperature is known here. Temperature, the maximum possible temperature is 650 degree, that is known, that is given. API is unknown because we don't know the amount, so we don't know the API. Phase known, there are two phases, one phase is liquid, one phase is vapor. So the missing information at the furnace outlet is basically the amount of vapor, the vapor range. So the big question here is how to find the vapor amount. If we can calculate these two values in the furnace outlet vapor amount, in the flash zone inlet temperature, then we can able to find out the heat content. Now let us look about the how we can do it. So at the flash zone, temperature is unknown. At the furnace outlet, amount is unknown. To solve these problems, what we can do, we have to use the EFV graph. Where is the EFV graph? This is EFV graph. This is EFV graph. We are going to use the EFV graph. See here in the x-axis, what is there? In the x-axis, volume percent of the vapor. In the y-axis, temperature is there. Then there is a constant line of the pressure. So we have a three relationship, PVT, that is called the PVT, pressure, volume and temperature. So with the help of this EFV graph, we can find out the unknown parameters. Let us look how. This is for the first case at the flash zone. So flash zone, x-axis feed flash vapor, that is given. Now x-axis is known, y-axis temperature unknown, constant line pressure unknown. So that is our first step. We are going to assuming a temperature at the flash zone. So the assumption is not directly the temperature, it is a temperature drop between the furnace outlet and flash zone inlet. It should be a 5 degree Fahrenheit. So 650, this is given at the furnace outlet. So what will be the temperature at the flash zone inlet? That will be a 645 degree Fahrenheit. So now we can say that now we get the temperature value. So x is known, y is known, the constant line, we have to find out the constant line. Let us look how. So this is our graph. X is known as it is very close, it is a 40 value. Y is known, it is 645 value. These two values are intersect at this point, and that is very close, or you can say it is basically a value of 50. So we can say the pressure is 50 psi absolute. Now this pressure is calculated. So all these three parameters are calculated for the flash zone inlet. So temperature is calculated 645, pressure is calculated 50, and volume percent, that is calculated here. So we can say the vapor is basically 40%. It means that the ranges is from 0 to 40 volume percent of crude. Means if this is a TPR crude at the starting, that is a vapor phase, that is the lighter portions, and the remaining, that is 60 volume percent, it started from 40 to 100 volume percent of crude, that is this is the remaining one, that is basically the liquid one. So we have now allocated the range of all liquid and all vapors in the TVP, and how we can go for the energy balance. So V dash is for the vapor phase, W dash is for the liquid phase. The ranges, as we have discussed, 0 to 40, so and 40 to 100. Okay, so yield is 40 and 100. Good. Mid volume percent is 20. The mid volume percent is not given here. Why? Because for the W, that is for the residue, that is for the bottom, we don't need mid volume percent for the calculation of API, and with the help of mid volume percent we can go for the API. This is the API calculations from the graph number 11, that is the calculation of API by the residue method, and for that thing we need only this whole percentage. That's why there is no application, no use of mid volume percent. I have already discussed in the API video. Then calculate the specific gravity simply by conversion, and come to the BPSD, that is the flow rate. So we know that the feed is 100,000 BPSD. Feed is given here 100,000 BPSD. So obviously out of 100,000 BPSD, 40,000 is for vapor and 60,000 is for the liquid. We can find out through the yield, we can find out. Then convert from BPSD to divide 24, we can get the barrels per hour. Then convert, we know how to convert it in the pounds per hour. It is now converted in the pounds per hour. Now come to temperature. So as we discussed, we have found out the temperature 645. So this 645 will be the temperature, either it is a vapor phase or in the liquid phase. Both have the same temperature, and with the help of the API and temperature we can find out the enthalpy of the vapor, and we can find out the enthalpy of the liquid. If we know the enthalpy and we have already calculated the mass flow rate, so these two values are multiplied, and we can get the total heat associated with the vapor phase and total heat associated with the liquid phase. Then you have to add these two values, we can get the total heat of the flash zone inlet. This is the amount of the heat, BTU per hour amount of the heat at the flash zone inlet. Similarly, we have to repeat for the furnace outlet. So what is known? X is unknown, that is we don't know volume percent. Y is temperature is known. Constant line, that is pressure. Yes, pressure is known. How? Because there is a recommendation that there are pressure drop between these 2 points. Between these 2 points is 5 psi. So we have to add that 5 psi, it becomes 55 psi. So at the furnace outlet, it is the pressure is 55 psi. So it's simple how we can do it. Sorry, we have to first draw a line at 55. This one we have to first draw a line 55, and then we can go for the temperature 650. Both are intersecting at this point, and we can find out that the value on the x-axis is very near to 40. It is 35, 6, 7, 8, 9, 39.5. So we can say the value is 39.5 V dash, 39.5 volume percent. So now we have calculated all these values at flash zone, at furnace outlet. So in the vapor phase 39.5, so this is a range for the vapor phase, and that is a lighter one, and the remaining from 60.5, that is basically the yield. So that remaining from 5 to 100 is basically the liquid phase. So we have to repeat again the same things, V dash for vapor, W dash for the bottom liquid. So range is given here, yield is calculated, mid volume percent is calculated obviously for the vapor, and go for the bottom, it is calculated by the residue method. API is calculated, specific gravity is calculated, and BPSD, we have discussed that BPSD is taken from the yield values. So it can be calculated from the yield. Then barrels per hour, pounds per hour. The temperature is given as 650, that is the temperature. At that temperature and at that given API, we can find out the enthalpy of vapor and enthalpy of liquid. And after calculations of Q value, this is the amount of heat associated with vapor, and this is the amount of heat associated with the liquid. And add these two values, we can get this one, that is the total amount of heat that is leaving from the furnace outlet. This is the amount of heat. In this way we can find out our criteria. We know that at flash zone this is given, at furnace outlet this is given. You have to just find out the differences simply by divide these Q flash upon Q furnace. You will get it is very close to 1, that is a 90.98. so we can say 98% is matching, not exactly 100% is matching. So if the value is very close to 1, it means that both location heat at both location heat content is same if it is 1. But if 98% is acceptable limit, if suppose I say that you have to reach up to the 95% is acceptable, so we can say okay, our basic calculation is okay, and the answer is given as flash zone temperature is 645 and flash zone pressure is 50 psi. That's what we have to calculate after finding out these two temperatures. So thank you very much.